Ma'am, you played with fire and got burned. You told me to tell the truth and be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with you. You effed around and found out, just like some other ones.
Hello, I hope I am able to share my story with you and your audience on your YouTube channel. I will be in the comments to respond to anyone with questions. I'm writing this 10/27/2024. My husband tricked me last year, August. I took his silence as he was accepting what I needed. When I met my husband, he promised to fulfill my every need. Me needing this open marriage temporarily was important to me, and he failed me as a husband. Having the nerve to divorce me, leaving me with not even 2 nickels to rub together. This should be a crime. The icing on the cake was the embarrassment. I was celebrating my birthday. It was an all-girls party, and this prick shows up with some nerdy kid to serve me divorce papers. I'm beyond pissed. True story epic. I found your YouTube channel after hearing another woman share her experience about being tricked by her husband after asking for an open marriage. Men today are so weak, just say, "No, I don't want the open marriage." True story epic. If I'm allowed to share my story with you so you could share on your YouTube channel, that would be greatly appreciated. I want to share my story because I know someone has to agree with me, and writing is therapy for me. I've had a diary since a child, so hear me out. My ex-husband and I met in college. It was both of our senior years, so we didn't attend the same school, but we were both part of the same program. He was a part of a program that was sort of a distance learning program, so he came to a city that was closer to me and my university, and their program allowed them to participate in design build projects. They helped out with the local nonprofit organization where they do projects for the organization and also other projects around town. So I was at another college, but my college was literally 15 minutes from this location. So administrators and professors from my ex-husband's college came to my college to ask if any of the students wanted to join the program. I believe they were trying to get more people to join because it was more money, but it sounds like a great program and knocked out 2 electives for me, which meant I was going to graduate on time. So I accepted, paid the fee to join for fall semester. This was back in 2018. So here's the thing. Many of you probably already started accusing me of being a harsh person or a horrible person because I asked for the open marriage, and my ex-husband, oh, he was a perfect little angel. No, my ex-husband had a girlfriend at the time I met him, but I digress. So, the first day we all met at a community center. This was for the first time. Students from my ex-husband's college and students from my college. My ex-husband said as soon as he walked through the door, I was the first person he noticed. He said he couldn't take his eyes off of me. I felt him looking, but I pretended I didn't notice. Mind you, he has a girlfriend that he was with at the time. They were together for 3 years. We're sitting at the center, and everybody's going around the room, introducing themselves and talking a little bit about themselves, and I'm not going to lie. I did notice my ex-husband as well, something about him that just attracted me to him. After everyone introduced themselves, we all got up and there was pizza and other finger food for everyone. So immediately, I'm grabbing some pizza, and here comes my ex-husband, Ryan, by the way. My name is Marge. Ryan approached me and said, "Hey, so what year are you at your college?" I let him know that I was a senior. It was a mix of juniors and seniors in this program. He told me how he was a senior as well, and we just thought chatting and getting to know each other, we ended up sitting off to the side, 2 chairs near the corner, eating our food and talking. And honestly, I feel like I fell for him right there. I just knew that I was going to be his girlfriend. Here's another thing, too, about me that may explain why I needed what I needed. The reason why I asked my ex-husband, Ryan, for an open marriage. And I plan to be completely honest with you, true story epic. I'm not going to tell any lies. I'm going to tell the full truth. So up until I met Ryan, I never really had any attraction toward men. Now, that's not to say that I didn't date men. I did throughout high school and a couple in college, but I never felt the way I felt with Ryan. With those other guys, but with women, that was it for me. That was what I wanted. I knew that early, my freshman year in college. But it was something about Ryan, the way he carried himself. I just loved it. When we talked, it was like we were best friends, like we've known each other forever. But honestly, I considered myself gay in college. I went back and forth with it though, because like I said, I did deal with men, so I'd say I'm bisexual, but honestly, I just was never happy with men. I never thought a man could give me everything I wanted, but Ryan, immediately, I just knew he could give me what I wanted. Well, so I thought. That first conversation in the corner, I asked Ryan, "So, do you have a girlfriend? You're pretty handsome." "Well, pretty and handsome, and you seem really smart." Ryan paused. I could tell he wanted to lie, but he told me, "Yes, I have a girlfriend. We've been together for 3 years and we actually live together." I said, "Oh, so you're not staying down here near the center with the other students? I thought you guys had to move here." And he tells me, yeah, he had to move here, but he left his girlfriend back near the college where they have an apartment together. Ryan was in a relationship with a woman that was 9 years older than him, and she had 3 children, who of which lived with them in the same apartment. That girl had moved an hour away to live with Ryan and be with him. So yeah, that should tell you guys about how much of an angel Ryan is. I honestly became a person Ryan would vent to you. Tell me about all the problems he had with his girlfriend, how she was so insecure. The crazy thing is that she was gorgeous, and she always accused him of cheating when he wasn't. I'm not too sure if he didn't cheat on this girl, but she would always go through his phone, pop up near the center. I specifically remember one time I thought she was going to off me. So ironically, Ryan and I was put into a group. Weird how that happened, but that just made me feel like we were meant to meet each other. But anyway, we were put into a group. Part of our group project was to do some legwork and also attend gatherings. So we would attend town hall meetings, get-togethers for children, things like that. This day we attended a town hall meeting early morning, and then later that night there was something for children's s'mores and Halloween costume dress-up contest, bonfire, and there was someone reading scary stories and things like that. So the other two that were in our group didn't attend. Ryan initially was going to go by himself. We needed someone to be there, but I decided I wasn't going to allow him to go by himself, so I drove up from where I was staying to go with him. I picked Ryan up from the center and we drove to the bonfire area. It was nice. It was so much fun. The kids were so funny. We had a great time. I remember it being really cold that evening, and it just got worse and worse. I had on a jacket and Ryan had on a hoodie, but I started to cuddle up near him. I asked him if it was okay, and he said absolutely. "You're cold, you're shivering." It made things so much better. I remember we moved closer to the fire, but I was still up under him and wrapped my arms around his arm. I remember somebody saying, "Oh, look at you two. You're such a beautiful couple." I smiled, and Ryan just looked shocked. We just enjoyed the stories and the fire. We decided to leave. Now, this entire time, we didn't know a bunch of pictures were being taken. We just weren't paying attention, but this will come about later. Because what I'm about to say is not the first time I thought Ryan's ex-girlfriend was going to try to off me. So, I'm driving Ryan back to the center where he was going to walk back to his house that he was living in with a bunch of other people, a bunch of girls actually. That's another story too. His ex-girlfriend actually was crazy now that I think about it. She was terribly jealous, but anyway, Ryan and I are sitting in the car and we're just talking about the night. I had the heat cranked up and we just started with conversation and just laughing. I don't know how this girl found out where Ryan was. I don't know if she stuffed a tracker in his wallet or something, but someone pulled into the parking lot. I mean, it was noticeable. It's a big parking lot, but we both turn around and look and say, wow, that person is driving recklessly. We're just sitting there and continued our conversation until it was interrupted by his ex-girlfriend banging on my window, the passenger side. Get the F out of the car right now. Do you think I'm stupid, huh? I knew it. Who is that, Bish? Get out the car and fight me, Bish. That's my man. This woman was crazy. Ryan looked at me, eyes wide, and said, maybe you should just pull off. I said no, she might try to jump behind the car and claim that I hit her. We're not going to do that. I didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. What are we running for? Ryan looked at me and agreed. Told me all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out. I'll talk to you later. I smiled and said okay. As soon as he opens the door, this girl is trying to stick her head in. Who is the Bish? Who is the Bish? Honestly, now that I think about it, Ryan didn't need to be with her. She was so ghetto. Anyway, I could see Ryan pushing her back saying, let's go to the car. Let's go. I'll take you to the house. She's just screaming at him. I pull out and leave. I wanted to text Ryan that night so bad to make sure he was okay, but I was worried that she snaps on him, so I allowed him to reach out to me. It wasn't like I wasn't going to see him again anyway. I tell this part of the story because this is when Ryan and I got into a relationship. So, the next morning, Ryan told me that he broke up with his girlfriend. She apparently put her hands on him. So, remember how I said we had no idea that they were taking pictures at the bonfire, right? Well, someone was taking pictures and they uploaded them to Facebook. People in the pictures were tagged. The person that was uploading the pictures is someone that knows Ryan. And we both followed the page of the nonprofit organization. So apparently, Ryan's girlfriend saw the tagged pictures, and in the tagged pictures, she saw Ryan and I were cuddled up at the bonfire. She was not happy with that. Ryan told me he was just sitting there eating breakfast. She came from behind him and slapped him in the face on the side, screaming at him, calling him a liar and saying he was a cheater and how she wasted her time with him and all types of stuff. Ryan actually abandoned that girl and her kids, left them in that apartment. He moved in with a friend and became a roommate. He didn't care about his credit or anything. By the way, even though the students at Ryan's school had to live down in the city and they weren't allowed to leave on the weekends. Ryan would leave on the weekend because his ex-girlfriend demanded it, or else he was cheating. And seeing somebody else, I was kind of happy they broke up, because this meant we can be together. And two, he was now going to be there on the weekend. Every weekend, I'd go and do something like walk the farmer's market or go to an event or a fair nearby. And I'd always wish that Ryan was there just to have someone to talk to and have fun with. When he finally became single, we became boyfriend and girlfriend immediately. I'm letting you all know this so you don't just think that Ryan is a perfect angel and he got played or used. That's not what happened. We've always been honest with each other, and me asking for this open marriage was me being honest. So anyway, Ryan and I graduated in all, and we got married. We married in 2019. Things went so fast. We married immediately after graduation. I was a very happy woman. I was proud to be Ryan's wife. We went through the pandemic together. Both worked from home. We made home very comfortable. Things were great. Then 2023, something about that year, Ryan just changed on me. Ryan got a management position at his job. I understand at work, you need to be a little tough in his field, demanding. He became a project manager, having to be on top of consultants and things like that and designers in the firm, but he carried that crap home. Ryan wasn't the sweet Ryan I'd always known. He completely changed. He started listening to these guys on YouTube. They were talking about pursuing your goals and putting your career first before anything, especially women. Ryan initially was okay with being a designer or project designer, but for some reason, all of a sudden wanted to be a manager after listening to these guys on YouTube, but I think it ruined his entire life. He didn't kiss me on the forehead anymore. He didn't buy me flowers, or we haven't had a picnic in so long. This is something we used to always do. We loved picnics, but he didn't have time for it anymore. He's too busy. He even brought work home. I was becoming unattracted to Ryan. I'm going to be honest. Some girls that I was hanging out with were starting to become more and more attractive to me. Ryan was becoming less attractive to me. I could admit that. So, by August 2023, when we didn't have not one picnic outside, and he neglected me in other ways the entire summer, I started to take away sex from him. I felt he didn't deserve it. What are you doing for me? I'm supposed to roll over and let you get on top of me, but you can't do something as simple as tell me I'm beautiful. Kiss me. No way, sir. That same month in August, I told Ryan that I wanted an open marriage because he's failing to fulfill my needs. I told Ryan everything that changed about him and how he needs to stop listening to these men who are overdosing on testosterone. Ryan was even trying to bulk up in the gym and slamming down protein shakes that gave him horrible smelling gas. Ryan knows that I hate muscles. It looks disgusting. I told him I wanted to see other people and maybe we can revisit closing the relationship in a few months. Ryan just freaking looked at me, turned around and went back to the room, and I can hear the stupid YouTube videos playing. In my head, for some reason, I took that as if he accepted. That was not the case. I had a birthday in a week and a half coming up, and Ryan already knew about it. It was a girl-only birthday party, no man allowed. This is something I wanted. He knew this, and he was okay with it. What was to come, I didn't expect. Him using this dorky kid to speak for him. I even remember the dorky kid trying to tell me that I cheated on Ryan, and there were emails and text messages to back it up. I don't know what the heck he's talking about, but Ryan wouldn't freaking speak to me. I never cheated on Ryan. That was completely made up. So, my ex-husband, when he served me, was with a dorky looking guy and Ryan was becoming weird. It was cringing. The reason I say that is because when I started asking him, "What are you doing? What is this? I'm not getting a divorce. Why are you divorcing me?" Ryan freaking goes to his phone and taps it, pressing play, and a song that just kept repeating, "I know everything. I know everything." Some guy singing it. It was the most weird, embarrassing moment of my life. I don't know who was singing the song. I begged Ryan to open his freaking mouth. I even cried. My girlfriends held me and told me it would be okay. It wasn't okay. My marriage was over. I was patiently waiting for Ryan to become mine back in college, but now I'm losing him. And that's what happened. I lost him. He did it without speaking a word to me. There was no house for me to fight for, no joint accounts. I just spent $4,000 of my money on me for my party. Ryan moved out of our place during the divorce process, but I wasn't able to pay the rent. I mean, I did, but after paying rent and utilities, I had $200 left to my name. Ryan didn't care. I'd beg and ask him to help me, but he wouldn't. I had to borrow money from friends, which ended relationships because I still owe them and haven't paid them back. We were divorced before the new year, and still to this day, I've struggled because I ran up so many credit cards. I needed to in order to survive. Ryan left me in a crappy situation, and I saw that he's with a younger girl now. Ryan is truly evil behind that beautiful smile. Mr. True Story Epic, please give me your true, honest thoughts on my story. I will not be offended about anything. I'm really heartbroken.
Ma'am, you played with fire and got burned. You told me to tell the truth and be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with you. You effed around and found out, just like some other ones. Listen, okay, your husband, he probably did change mentally as far as him becoming a manager at his job. You know, he became tough. He became He had to be on stuff, and he might have brought it home. That doesn't mean you start wanting an open relationship. That doesn't mean you get to go sleep with other people. That doesn't mean I'm going to cut off sex because he didn't kiss me on my forehead. We didn't have a picnic this year. Okay, this is 1 year. You didn't have a picnic. Boo-hoo. You decide you want to sleep with other people? And I'm not buying the whole, you said, so the guy that served you, he told you that your husband had proof that you were cheating on him. I think you probably were. You didn't just all of a sudden, you weren't just dealing with it like, okay, he's not doing this. I'm going to keep complaining. Okay, I'm just going to ask for an open relationship. You asked for an open relationship because you already had someone. He found out about it. You thought you hid everything, but you didn't. I guarantee you probably did cheat. Like, just be honest. You said you were going to be honest. Be honest. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. Again, thanks for sending in your story. I appreciate it. And I'll share it here. And yeah, you said you'll be in the comments. Let's see.